Hey guys, Matt Wilson here. Going to give you a quick tutorial on how to update your forecast GPR in the Flashboard. So first things first, you guys may have noticed there is a button now on your Flashboard that says View GPR right in your year-to-date section. And if you click on that, it's going to basically reformulate this little table, and it's going to still give you the number of leases that you have, but it's going to right now show 0. And once we input the information, it's going to show an effective rent that we have leased in each of these floor plans for both renewals and pre-leases. And this is going to allow us to forecast our GPR and see whether we're trending towards our budget, under, above, and really have a little more control over that process. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you what reports you need to pull and where you need to input it. So first things first, it is going to be on this input tab up at the top, exactly where you input all your leasing data. You may have noticed there are 2 new columns in this section. You have renewal rate right here and pre-lease rate. Advertised rate is the old market rate. So basically, that all has carried over. Here, very self-explanatory. It's just whatever your current street rates are, that's what you're going to put here for each of your floor plans. And then what we're going to do is pull a report in OneSite that is going to allow us to see for the fall what have we pre-leased and what is the effective rate that we've pre-leased at for each of these floor plans. You're going to input that here. Ideally, we would like to input both renewals and pre-leases separately. Right now, the report doesn't give us that information quickly or easily. So for the time being, we're just going to input the same numbers for each one for renewals and pre-leases. It's going to give us the same total result, just not going to give us that insight into what's the breakdown between renewals and pre-leases yet. But hopefully in the future, we'll be able to show that. So in order to get those numbers, we're going to need to pull a report out of OneSite. And so to do that, I'm using Village Green here as an example. And what you're going to do is log in, go to your Reports tab, and then you're going to scroll down to the Student Living section. And you're going to click on All Reports. It's going to bring you to this page right here. And then the report we want to use is the Forecasted Rent Roll Detail. That is going to give us the effective rates for each of those floor plans. So first we'll click into that, click Generate. Fine if you want to pull a PDF for this, not a problem there. You don't need to do Word or Excel because we're just going to pull those numbers over. So do PDF right here where it says Report Type. I would just do Summary because that's all we need. And then for the semester, make sure you select Fall 2016 or whatever is the appropriate term that we're looking at. So we've got that info in there and we're ready to hit Generate. I've already pulled the report, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump to that rather than wait for OneSite to load. So here you can see each of the floor plans. You've got your 2s, 3s, and 4s. Here we have a little bit of a complication because on the Flashboard, we don't have these 3rd floor apartments broken out separately. So essentially, to calculate what the actual average leased is between those two, we need to do an average. So let's say we had 10 of the 2-2s leased and we had 5 of the 2-2 3rd floors leased. What we would do is we would do 10 times the lease rate here of 634 plus 5 times this 640 and then essentially divide that result by 15, which is the total number of leased apartments between those two. That's a little bit complicated. If you have a setup like that, maybe just reach out to your regional for a little bit of assistance on how we can get those numbers accurate. But for now, in this example, let's just go ahead and use the base floor plan, not including this 3rd floor premium, just to get us some hard numbers in there. So this is the column we're going to use, average leased. We're going to this is the actual average of what we have both renewed and pre-leased for the fall in each floor plan. So using this, we can accurately update the Flashboard. So let's start with the 2-2. That's 634.31. Hop over into that section, and you can't use decimals in this. It's just got to be round numbers. So for now, we'll just do the 634 in both of these sections, renewal and pre-lease. Now the 3x3, we're going to do 567. Go ahead and input that in here. And then lastly, the 4x4, that's going to be leased at 558.86. And I'm just going to go ahead and round up to 559 on that one. So we've got our renewal and pre-lease rates in there. They should be exactly the same. They should match one another. And then here for our advertised rate, it's going to be, again, our market rates. So just verify those are accurate, that those haven't changed. And you know, if there are any changes, go ahead and input them there. The way this is going to calculate is it's going to total up our GPR based on everything that we currently have leased. It's going to add up all of those. And then all of our remaining available apartments, it's going to assume that we're leasing all of those at our market rates, which are right here. So it's important to make sure those market rates are in there. That's going to give us the most accurate GPR forecast. So we've got everything in there. We're going to go ahead and hit save. Now we jump back over to the report, and now when we hit this View GPR button, we've got those effective rates in there, and it's going to give us each of those categories as a total GPR number. So all of our renewals, this amounts to 85,000 of GPR. The pre-leases amount to 79,000 of GPR, and the total 164. So what we're going to do is it's going to take this 164, which is all 286 of our pre-leases, added up, each of their monthly rates, and then it's going to take all of our remaining available apartments, 182, multiply that by our market rates, and add the two together. That's going to give us our forecast GPR. So that's basically it. Just to recap, we're going to pull the forecast rent roll detail in OneSite, going to reports, student living, forecast rent roll detail. We're going to pull that report as a summary, and basically we're going to take this column here, the average leased. We're going to input each of those as a floor plan into the Flashboard. It's going to go right here. We're going to put the same rate for renewals and pre-leases, and then we're going to make sure that our market rates are updated. And then we're going to hit save, and we'll be able to see our forecast GPR. So that's it in a nutshell. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or your regional, and we'll get everything taken care of. Thanks very much, guys.